Do you want to make $100,000 in insurance this year? Let me tell you the bottom 5 ways to make sure this doesn't happen. All jokes aside, my favorite way that, in my experience as doing sales, coaching, recruiting, all the components of really the sales industry, I like to I like to share some of the wisdom that I've found. And again, I'm not a perfect sales guy by any means. I think the biggest number one bottoms down way to fail is calling yourself a salesperson instead of seeing yourself as a coach. So if you've done sports in the past, you might have had a coach that you really liked. Usually the coaches you really liked were not always the nicest, right? They'd make you run if you had the excuses. They'd push you, and sometimes push you to a point that you kind of like they pissed you off. But in the end, it made you a better person. So for me, I see my role as not only as a leader in my sales agency and with my agents, but also with my prospects, my customers, my business groups. That my role is to challenge in a little bit, to be a challenge. First to listen, and then to be really the catalyst so that change happens, not the person that's just okay with where they're at. Another analogy is a friend that just doesn't, it's like a yes man, like friend. You're never gonna have a deep relationship with a friend that's just a yes man. A friend that will say, hey, like, I love you and I want to see you grow. Either you're not performing, you're not showing up in the way that I know you could, or there's this thing that I feel like if I need to bring to your attention, because I want you to have more out of your life. That is the sort of mindset that you need to have to be a successful, whatever you're selling, but especially in the insurance space. So that's been number one, mindset. Having the mindset you're a salesperson is the number one way to not make money in sales and in insurance. Number two, don't lead in with what's your budget. I find it comical. When people sell the budget, it's a cop-out way of selling. If you sell to money first, I find that it's a cheap, easy way of selling. You're racing to the bottom. No one likes doing that. Eventually, after doing that for a while, you're going to have a bunch of customers who are just there for price only. You'll have no loyalty, and they're going to be the worst customers to deal with. So I found that starting with price is never the winning solution. And quite honestly, you're going to cut corners and not show solutions that solve their problems better. This is the worst. And then they'll leave for the competitor that's doing it the right way and selling by value, which is really solving the problem at the highest level possible. So number two, selling by asking questions like, what is your budget? What are you hoping to spend? What are you looking to spend? It's not a terrible question, but if that's the only way that you can sell, you need some help. That's not the way that you're going to make good money in sales or in insurance. Similarly, sticking to convention because you're afraid, you don't have courage to be yourself. Sounding like a robot, that can show up by like sounding like a robot. Maybe you're unwilling to deviate from the script. I get when you're first getting started, you should memorize the script. You should be able to do it with your eyes closed in your sleep. You should be able to feel like no matter who you're interacting with, anywhere in the sales cycle, you can jump in and understand, hey, where have we gotten to? Where are we at? Where do we need to go? And what are the things what are the loose ends that we need to tie up, or the clarity that we need, even if it's setting expectations, so that we can get the client to the optimal position. So again, leading with sounding impersonal, just using, like coming across scripted and sticking to convention. Hello, my name is Josh, and I'm with Conventional Insurance Advisors, and I'm calling on behalf, is this Mary? Hi, Mary. I'm here because you had a request for, like, no one likes that. Why? Yeah, don't be doing that. Be you, have a good time, be professional, and that's the way that you're going to make it, not by being scripted and dousing your personality. Don't give the customer an out. Novice salespeople I see when there's a little bit of like there's kind of an energy dance when it comes to the process of closing. Once you start narrowing down what it is that the prospect actually needs and wants, and they're telling you the things that are leading, there's this this critical point where if you do not take the lead, the prospect will, and the prospect will never close themselves. So if you give them an out, they're going to take it because it's uncomfortable to do change, even though they know that they want what they came to you to get help for. And then the last one, I just kind of jumped into there. Don't ask the prospect to close themselves. It's your job to help them through that process, one way or the other. Sometimes people need a little bit of a push. Sometimes people need, hey, well, if we did this and it went this way, is this what you were hoping? Or if we went this way, is this what you're hoping? Helping to instill a vision really, I feel like helps people like, that makes way more sense. Let's go ahead and do that. Makes people have ownership of the decision, and then you won't lose a lot of that momentum and steam. And especially if there's follow-up that are required, that's one of the things that you're going to lose if you say, well, so here's your options. Do you like this one? Or are you interested in that? That's not the right way to do it. So, and definitely don't wait for them. Don't just sit there like, so that's what I prepared for you, and just wait. That's not how it's going to work. Don't be afraid to take the lead. Help your prospect through the journey to have a successful experience with you, and then you'll have really a successful growing sales career and insurance business.